with Seva International. He has been associated with Seva International for more than 5 years, and he has volunteered in the Stop Diabetic Movement program and other wellness programs. Let's all welcome my father, Sushilji.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shreya. And namaste, everyone. I welcome you all to this seventh International Day of Yoga celebration event. First of all, I would like to thank the IDY organizing committee for giving me this opportunity. It's a great honor for me to inaugurate this event. We are thankful to India's current Honorable Prime Minister, Minister Narendra Modi ji, for his vision to spread the awareness of yoga in the entire world by starting this International Day of Yoga, which is for the benefit of the humanity. On this day, I would also like to pay my sincere gratitude to all our gurus who has walked on this path of yoga and shared this invaluable knowledge from generations to the generations over thousands of years. The theme of this year's IDEVA event is Yoga for Well-being. As the entire world has been severely impacted with this COVID-19 pandemic, it is even more important to recognize the important role that yoga is playing in bringing holistic health for every individual. As many of you know, the word yoga is derived from Sanskrit root word yuj, meaning to join or to unite. Yoga is not merely a physical exercise. It brings alignment between body, mind, and soul. Body and soul are generally at stay in the place. It's mainly the mind which is always in flux. So yoga teaches us how to bring that mild mind to stillness. This is also expressed in Maharshi Patanjali's second Sutra, which is Yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which is nothing but stilling the fluctuations of mind. Yoga is an experiential journey and it is very personalized in nature. So the experience that you might get might be totally different than the person sitting next to you. As you need to sleep, eat, or breathe for yourself, similarly, you have to practice the yoga for yourself to experience it. According to yogic scriptures, the practice of yoga leads to the union of individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. Since yoga is a spiritual journey, the mind becomes calmer and more under control, and we are able to stay healthy and happy. It can also benefit us on a daily basis by helping us manage the stress, anxiety, depression, or other conditions while keeping a positive mindset. We can use yoga to strengthen ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I invite you to share this gift of yoga, which is nothing but the gift of joy, happiness, and freedom with everyone around you. With that, once again, my warm welcome to all of you on this 2021 IDY event. Let's begin. I'll now hand it over to Shreya.
Thank you for the wonderful speech. We're now going to continue this program with a short video by the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India.
Yoga is essentially a spiritual discipline based
Yeah, go
on extremely subtle science. It is an art and science for healthy living.
Not able to see video.
Share the screen.
Technology.
screen is shared. Can you see this page?
Yes,
You
we can.
may want to share the desktop instead of the screen.
Yeah.
Yoga is essentially a spiritual discipline based on extremely subtle science. It is an art and science for healthy living. The word yog is derived from the Sanskrit word yug, meaning to join or unite. According to yogic scriptures, the practice of yoga leads to the union of the individual consciousness with that of the universal consciousness, indicating a perfect balance between mind and body, man and nature. The science of yoga has its origins thousands of years ago, before the first religions or belief systems were born. In yogic lore, Shiva, the first yogi or Adi Yogi, transmitted his profound knowledge to his 7 disciples, the famous Saptarishis or the 7 sages. Yoga was practiced through the pre-Vedic period. But it was Maharishi Patanjali, known as the father of modern yoga, who systematized and codified the then practices through his Yoga Sutras. Later, many yoga masters contributed to the preservation and development of yoga and the spreading of this wonderful practice. There are different schools of yoga. These include Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Patanjala Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Laya Yoga, Jaina Yoga, Bauddha Yoga, etc. Each school has its own approach and practices that lead to the ultimate aims and objectives of yoga. Some of the widely practiced yoga sadhanas are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Bandha and Mudra, Shatkarmas, Yuktahara, Mantra Japa, Yukta Karma.
For this event, we're going to have different teachers lead different yoga sections. It will run for around 1.5 hours, followed by concluding remarks by James G. Now I'm going to introduce our wonderful yoga teachers. For our first yoga teacher, we have Anita Rangaswamiji. Anita ji has lived in Arizona with her husband and 3 children for the past 35 years. She learned Rishi culture yoga from Swami Geetananda at a young age and is an early proponent of the benefits of yoga and meditation. After working in the corporate sector for 20 years, she got her IYA certification and founded Pranagyana Holistic Health and Wellness Center in 2007. Through consultations, classes, and workshops, she has taught Hatha Yoga, meditation, and holistic lifestyles in the Valley to youth, adults, and seniors from diverse populations. Currently, Anita Ji is a vice president on the board of directors of the Arizona Interfaith Organization. Inchira Kumarji. Inchira Ji is currently a rising senior at Basis Chandler. She received her yoga teacher certification in May 2020 through Vivekanand Yoga. Inchira has been teaching yoga to youth for the past 1 year every Sunday with the goal of spreading the physical, mental, and spiritual benefits of yoga to younger generations. Vasudha Bhaji. Originally from Sirsi, Vasudha Ji is a certified yoga instructor who currently resides in Bengaluru, Karnataka and conducts yoga classes in Aurobindo Complex Trust, JP Nagar, Bengaluru. She started the practice of yoga after the age of 40 and completed her yoga instructor course through Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Samsthan or SVYASA in Jigani, Bengaluru. She earlier instructed yoga sessions in the RV Institute of Management, Oracle Kalyani Magnum Bengaluru, Ishanya India Foundation, and in the School for Special Students. She has been associated with Yoga for Seva for the past 3.5 years and regularly conducts yoga classes. Ms. Elnaz Aslanian. Having a strong physical foundation due to her background in martial arts, Ms. Elnaz has been practicing various types of yoga for more than a decade. In 2004, she joined Pranic Healing School and got introduced to various meditation and pranayama breathing techniques. Then she studied Ashtanga Yoga and after that practiced Iyengar Yoga for some time. Almost 8 years ago, she joined Vinyasa flow classes at Yoga Work Studio and fell in love with it. She continued practicing until she got her 500-hour Yoga Alliance certificate. Since then, yoga is her number one passion in life and she vigorously teaches and shares her knowledge with others. Amit Upadhyay Ji. Amit Ji formally started his yoga journey with Vivekanand Kendra in 1988 in India. Later, he continued studying with Sarathi Yoga Foundation, Los Angeles, Nikam Yoga Singapore, Iyengar Yoga Institute, Los Angeles, and finished his 200 registered yoga teacher training with Vivekanand Yoga San Diego in 2020. He has been teaching on the Seva International platform for the last 2.5 years. And finally, myself. Being introduced to yoga from a very young age, I have seen my father train and become a yoga teacher, which also encouraged me to become one as well. I completed my yoga teacher training in 2020 under Vivekanand Yoga, San Diego, under Guru Subbarao with my fellow teen yoga teacher Inchira. I currently go to Mountain Ridge High School and am a rising junior. I am also an HSS Karyakarta and an active volunteer with Seva International as well. I also teach regular yoga classes over the weekend along with Inchira to spread the many benefits of yoga to the community. A few disclaimers and precautions before we start the event. Your participation in this event requires the performance of yoga postures and may expose you to the risk of bodily injury. If you have any history of injury or illness that may be aggravated by your participation, you should consult with a physician or other healthcare professional beforehand. Please respect your body limits and do not overdo. We'll now start the event with an Omkara. Place your hands at heart center. We'll start with an opening prayer. Together we'll chant Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, let me hand over the program to Anitaji, who will lead the first section.
Thank you, Shreyaji, for that. So, namaste, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to be part of the International Yoga Day 2021 and share some thoughts as well on this August occasion. So, when we think of doing yoga, we generally think of the asana practice, some pranayam, and then some meditation. However, the Ashtanga Yoga has 8 limbs, as you know, the yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, and then dharana. So each limb has its place of importance in the sequence of Raj Yoga. And as some of you know, the 5 yamas are the ethical and moral disciplines. So these are great commandments that transcend the creed, country, age, and time. And these are eternal, and they have been there from time immemorial. So I just want to refresh your mind with some of these basic rules of morality for society, which are so important. Ahimsa, which is non-violence, Satya, the truth, Brahmacharya, which is continence, Asteya, not not stealing, I would say, Aparigraha, which is not being greedy. So these are the 5 yamas. And when we don't follow these yamas, it brings violence and greed and untruths, promiscuousness, and stealing into the society. So then there are the niyamas. So these are the rules of conduct that apply to a personal discipline. And there are 5 of those as well. So we talk about shaucha, santosha, swadhyaya, which is purity, happiness, and self-study. And then there are 2 more, which is tapas and Ishwar Pranidhana. So the last 2 are ascribed to self-effort put in by the individual, as well as the Ishwar Pranidhana is leaving the actions of one's doing to the will of the divine. So we will not have time to talk about all of these today, but I want to just focus on one niyama that has come into the forefront due to the COVID pandemic, and that is shaucha, or purity, or cleanliness. And so purity comes in different forms. And at the personal level, there's a purity of the body, the mind, the intellect. Then there's also purity of food, water, air that we consume just for existence. And we know that any kind of excessive and indiscriminate human consumption that has decreased the quantity of the quality of these precious resources over the decades. So now it's up to us, each one of us on the planet Earth, to be conscientious consumers of the limited resources. So since 2020, with the COVID virus, that has brought into our awareness the concept of shaucha, the discipline of cleanliness of the body, scrubbing hands thoroughly, maintaining a reasonable distance from each other to prevent these infections. But in my opinion, there is more to shaucha. It is important to keep the mind clean from the negative thoughts, stress, emotional turbulence. And then also important to free oneself from the shadripus, which are called the 6 enemies: anger, greed, attachment, hatred, pride, jealousy. So the human mind is really like a drunken monkey's mind that is bitten by a scorpion. And if you get that picture, now I want you to just remember that picture when your mind goes sort of berserk with thoughts, worries, frustrations, because you want to be able to pull back that mind. The intellect also can be cleansed through the fire of jnana and knowledge, which is swadhyaya or self-study. So the internal cleansing is to remove the sorrow, the anxiety, despair that is generally experienced in different situations. These are life situations. And it is to bring about good thoughts, feelings of kindness, compassion, empathy, respect, and put all of that together in our daily lives. So we can start to apply that, practice these on a daily basis, the yamas and niyamas, on a moment-to-moment basis, because every moment is a moment of truth. So let us always remember on this day, starting this day again, each year it's a renewal. Let us always remember that the conscientious practice of the yamas and the niyamas on a daily basis is just as important, if not more important, to maintain that samasthiti, which is as the life situations are encountered, we are able to keep the samasthiti. So on this International Yoga Day 2021, I urge you to start a regular yoga practice or continue your own yoga practice or inspire a friend or a family member to try a yoga practice and then be there to motivate them as well. So with that, I will start with the warm-ups, and these will be simple warm-ups to wake up the body and take you further from there. Okay, so. So first we will start in Tadasana. So please stand up straight. And we can do all of these will be done in a standing position. Then we will move into the seated position with the other teachers. So standing up tall, we're going to start with our eyes, and I will move closer so you can actually see me. We want to start with rotation of the eyes. As you breathe in and out, start with the top, take your eyes all the way up to the top and go clockwise to the right side, going clockwise to the side, bring it down, keep those eyes wide open and continue to breathe deep and make 3 circles like this. In your own time, move the eyeballs to each position nice and slowly and take them all the way around. Don't forget to breathe through all of this. And then we're taking it in the opposite direction, counterclockwise. So again, moving the eyeballs only, not your head or any other part of your body, only the eyeballs. And this is a practice that you can start to do every day. Practice it every day. It's always good to start from head to toe. And now we're going to take it diagonally from top right to bottom left and take it 3 times. Now, because of time constraints, we're not able to do this 5 to 10 times, but I would encourage you to do this in your own time, more number of times. And now go to the other side, top to bottom, diagonal, right? You should be doing this 5 to 10 times every day. And now let's take we're doing it only 3 times here for sake of time. So let us lift our head, take it up and down. As you breathe in, you lift up. So breathing in and out. Lower the neck. Breathe in and out. And one more time. Breathing in and out. Now let us take our neck from side to side. Keep the chest wide open. Still in Tadasana. Breathing in as you take it to the right side and breathe out. Breathing in and out. and in and out, and in and out. And now let us start to move those shoulders. Four to 5 times, taking it in the opposite direction. Lift and lower, lift and lower. And now let us lift those hands. We're going to lift up to the side. Elbows are bent. We're going to make small circles with our elbows. Stretch it out, breathe deep, breathing in and out. You can make them as big as you want or as little as you want, depending on your energy level today, how you feel this morning. Always pay attention to your body. Take it in the opposite direction. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Excellent, excellent. I can see some of you doing it. So, all right, now from here, we're going to lift up the right hand, breathing in, lift up the right hand. Take the left hand, put it in front of the right hand and just push back a little bit, stretching at the elbow. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Then let us switch hands and take it on the other side. And make sure that the thumb is also pulled out. I call it the letter L. On this side, it's the letter L. So it looks like this. I'm not able to see the share screen that is going on. So, okay. So from here, we are going to go over to our hips. So let me step back, and I hope you can see me here because I'm only seeing Shreya's large screen. Maybe that can be changed to do the spotlight. But if you're able to see me, and I hope you are, you can move your hips like this from side to side. So I'm bending my knees, and each time as the knee is bent, my hips are moving. So keep moving those hips. From this, we are going to go into the hula hoop circles. So bend your knees and take it around to the side, go around to the back, side, and lift. Down and to the side, back and lift. And stand up. Now, if you have weaker knees or arthritic problems, then you don't want to go down as deep. You can still stand and do these exercises. So yoga is very flexible in many ways, adaptable. So you can adapt it to your own needs. And I'm going to actually turn this down so you can see me doing this. From this level. Okay, and so you can see this going around like this all the way. This is what we are just doing, taking it back. And now let us stand up tall for a moment. We're going to lift up the right leg, do a little balance, and you can hold on to a chair or onto a wall if you need to, and make circles with your toes. So lift up as high as you want or keep it low, but hold on to something if you need to, and you can make these circles in one direction and take the leg in the opposite direction. And this is good for balance as well as getting the legs moving. Let's do the other side. So we will take this going around. Again, take it in the opposite direction. And now I can see it much better here as well. Thank you for that, changing the screen. And let's do one more round of this, lifting up the right leg, taking it around. And then reversing the direction. And bringing that leg down. Lift up the other leg, nice and easy. Just stretching out the ankles before we get into the other sets of exercises. Bring that leg down. Let us just shake our hands a little bit. Lift up those hands and just shake it off. Stand in Tadasana for a few breaths. Palms are wide open, facing forward. Breathing in and out. And one last thing I'd like to do is to move our feet, and I might have to adjust the camera here, so give me one moment. So I hope you can see me moving my feet here. And if you're seeing my feet, then we'd like to take the feet to the side, over on the edges of the feet, and then bring it down onto the pads of the feet. Over to the side, you can stand in Tadasana and do this. And take it to the side again, bring it back. And two more just like this. Don't forget to breathe deep. You're still warming up the body here. So now let us go to the inner part. So go into the inner side. So your thighs are touching each other, and then release. Again, do this and release. Two more like this. And now we are ready to take two more deep breaths and hand it over to the next person. But take a couple of deep breaths before we end this session. And thank you. Namaste.
Dhanyavad Anita ji for doing some loosening. Now we will move on to warm-ups. So start with your feet together and we will go into a light jog. Keep going. And let's do high knees. So bring your knees up as high as you can at your own pace. Keep going. And come back to a light jog. And stop. Bring your feet apart a little bit. Put your hands on your knees. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do this a couple more times. And come back to a standing position. Let's come back to a light jog. This time, let us touch our heels to our butt, like this. And once again, keep going. And come back to a light jog. Very nice. And stop. Put your hands on your knees one more time. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do this a couple more times and feel any sensations. And come back to a standing position. Let us come to a light jog one last time. This time, kick to the side. And as you kick to the side, look over to the left and right. Just a few more times. And come back once again to a light jog. And stop. Once again, put your hands on your knees. Deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. Very nice. Come back to a standing position in Tadasana and keep your feet together and observe your body. Just become energized. Continue to take deep breaths. Very nice. Let us warm up our legs and feet. If you have something to hold on to help you balance, you are more than welcome to. Take your right foot and we're just going to swing back and forth. Try to go as high as you can. And set it down. Let's take our left foot, our left leg, and swing it. Once again, trying to keep balance and going as high as you can. And come back to the center. Taking deep breaths. Let us move on to some twisting. Spread your feet about shoulder width apart. Take your hands and place them about shoulder height. We're going to breathe in the center, and as you breathe out, twist to the right side, look behind you, and stretch your arm out. As you breathe in, come back to the center, and as you breathe out, go to the left. We'll do this a bit dynamically, and you can go as fast or as slow as you want. Remember to keep breathing. With each exhale, try to swing a little bit more back and make sure to keep the lower part of your body still. And let us come back to the center. And once again, observe where you feel sensations throughout your arms or chest. Take another deep breath in and out. Bring your feet together, and we're going to take our arms up over our head, arch your back upwards, and as you forcefully exhale, come down and swing your arms backward. So once again, inhale, look up, stretch, and exhale. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale, exhale, Remember to keep your back straight as you go down. One last time, up and down. Very nice. Relax, keep your arms down. And once again, take a deep breath in and out. Now that we have warmed up, let us do a few Surya Namaskars. Come to the top of your mat. Keep your feet together and your hands in a Namaskar position. Take one deep inhale and exhale. One, inhale, lift your arms above your head and lean back while looking up. Two, exhale, slowly bring your hands down to your feet. Keep your legs straight. Three, take your right leg back and stretch upward. Look up and inhale. Four, bring your left leg back. Come to a plank position and look a few feet ahead of you. Remember to keep your back straight. Five, drop your knees. Sit back in Shashankasana. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Six, come up to a plank. Inhale and slowly exhale while lowering yourself down. Remember to keep your stomach off the floor and hold your breath. Seven, inhale and stretch into Bhujangasana and look up. Exhale. Eight, come to downward dog. Nine, drop your knees. Sit back into Shashankasana. Relax, take a deep breath in and let it out. 10, take your right foot, bring it forward. Inhale, look up. 11, join your 2 feet. Exhale. And 12, inhale, come up. Look up and return to your starting position. We'll do this one more time on the left side. 1, inhale, stretch and look up. 2, exhale. 3, this time take your left foot back. Inhale, look up. 4, right leg back into a plank. Exhale. 5, drop your knees. Inhale. Exhale. Nicha Shantasana. 6, inhale deeply into plank and exhale. 7, inhale into Bhujangasana. Up. 8, exhale. And hold. 9, drop your knees. Sit back on your heels. Inhale and exhale. 10, take your left leg forward. Inhale, stretch upward. 11, exhale, join your feet together. And finally, 12, come up, stretch upward, and come back to Namaskar position. Drop your hands, take a deep breath, and let us sit down into any comfortable position and take a few deep breaths. Observe your body. Feel your heart rate and breathing rate slowly come down. And relax. Thank you for doing warm-ups with me. Now I will pass it off to Vasudhaji.
Vasudha ji, could you please unmute yourself? We can hear you. It's muted again.
Idyaz.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
See now, we'll do it sides. Twisting posture. Fold your right leg. Marichasana. Then raise your hand up, inhaling. Exhaling. Bend forward. Surround your knee. Clasp your hands. Turn. Both shoulders should come in one line. Other leg. Toes should be pointing towards you. Marichasana. Maintain the posture with normal breathing. Final posture. Let close your body. Try to maintain for longer time. Now, slowly release and release your leg. Relax for a while. Now let's do it other side. Join your legs. Fold your left leg. Should bring near your ground. Now inhale. Stretch your hands up. Exhale. Bend forward. Then surround your left knee. And then try to clasp your fingers. Turn. Look back. maintain the posture with normal breathing. Feel the practice. Feel the changes in your body. All twisting postures are very good to activate the pancreas and then reduce the abdominal girth also. Now, slowly release your hands, release your legs, relax. Next practice we are going to do is Parighasana, one side bending posture. Stand on your knees. Stretch your right leg, toes pointing front, and then your knee and toe should come in one line. Stand straight. Your left thigh should be vertical to the floor. Just concentrate on the subtle points. Now, stand straight. Raise your left hand. Turn your palm. Still up. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bend sideways. Lateral bending. Cross your chest. Parighasana. Lateral bending posture. Do not bend forward. Let loose your body in final posture. Biceps stretching the ears. Then more. Very good side bending posture. Now slowly come up with a stretch. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bring your hand towards your lap. Turn your palm. Slowly release. Bring back your right leg. Sit back in Vajrasana. In between two practices, we need to relax at least for 10 to 15 seconds to bring back our breath to the normal level. This is self-complementary. Now let's do it. Other side. Stand on your knees again. Stretch your left leg sideways, toes pointing front, and then your knee and toe should come in one line. Stand straight. Inhaling. Raise your right hand. Turn your palm. Still up. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bend towards your left. Bend more. Stay there. Feel the very good stretch in your sides. Pause your chest. Bend more. Biceps stretching the air. Do not bend at your elbow. Bend more. Slide your left hand. Do not bend at your knee. Slowly come up. Inhale, stretch. Exhale. Turn your palm. Release. Bring back your left leg. Just sit back in Vajrasana and relax for a few seconds. Next practice is Ushtrasana or camel posture. Let's practice both Ardha Ushtrasana and Purna Ushtrasana variations. Stand on your knees. Don't put your toes, the ankle of your foot. And then try to join your come back. Bring your elbows nearer. Inhale here. Exhaling. Push your waist forward. Drop your head. Stay there. You can open your mouth. Let's just do the variation. Try to Join your arms. Pick back. Drop. Push your wrist forward. Stay there for a while. Slowly come up, inhaling. Exhaling. Sit back. Let's practice one more variation of Ardha Ustrasana or half camel posture. For that, again stand on your knees. Take your right hand up, inhaling from your heel, from your body. Stretch the other hand, push your waist forward, stay there, drop your head. Slowly come up in the same fashion. Sit back. Bring back your breathing to the normal. We are practicing Ardha Ustrasana, half camel posture. Again, stand on your knees. Now, left hand up, turn your left heel, and then drop your right hand, push your waist forward. Slowly bring back your hands. Sit back. Relax for a while. Now we are going to practice Purna Ustrasana. For that again, stand on your knees. Take your both hands back on respective heels. Push your waist forward. Drop your head. It's very good for your back. Thyroid also. Slowly bring back your hands. Now, just to complement the posture, we are bending forward. Relax. Finally, let's do one forward bending. That is Mandukasana. For that, separate your knees. Try to join your toes back. Sit on your, see buttock should be resting on your floor. Stretch your hands sideways. Turn your front. Still up. Inhale, stretch. Exhaling, bring your hands down. Just slide your hands, pushing your chin forward. Mandukasana, frog posture. Try to put your chin and chest on the floor. It's a very good practice to calm down your mind. Mandukasana. Slowly bring back your hands. Bring your knees nearer. Release your legs one by one. Relaxing. Shitila. Dandasana. Sitting relaxing posture. So now let's practice few standing asanas. For that, slowly come up to standing posture. Just relax for a while. First, let's practice Tadasana. Join your legs. Stretch your hands up, sucking your abdominal muscles. Stay there. Triceps stretching the ears. Now slowly turn towards your right. Then turn towards your left. Stretch up. Bring back. Now bend towards your right. Come up. Towards your left. Inhaling. Come up. Release. Next we are going to practice Kati Chakrasana. Right hand on your left shoulder. Swing your whole body, preferably feet should be together. Turn back. Do not bend at your knees. Foot firm on the floor. Turn more. Inhaling. Turn back. Release your hands. Relax. Now let's do other side. Join your foot. Left hand on your shoulder. Then swing your right hand. Kati Chakrasana. Turn more. Final posture. Let loose your body. Maintain the normal breathing. Please do not close your eyes. You may not get the balance. Turn more. Turn. Do not lift your feet. Do not bend at your knees. Feel the practice. Slowly turn back. Release your hands. Relaxing. Shithila Tadasana for a while. Next we are going to practice triangular posture or Trikonasana. Separate your legs. Foot should be parallel to each other. Stretch your hands. Turn your right foot out. Left foot in. Left hand on your waist. Hit back your shoulder. Now hand should be shoulder level, right hand. Just stretch. Keep on stretching as much as you can. If you can't stretch more, bring down that hand on your shin bone. Toss your chest. Raise your hand up. Bend. Bend more. This is also a lateral bending practice. Do not bend forward. Try to maintain the posture. Listen to your body. Sthiram Sukham Asanam. Slowly come up with a stretch. Turn your right foot and then left foot. Release your hand. Bring back your legs a little bit. Relax back in. Shithila Tadasana. We are practicing triangular posture. Now let's do it other side. Separate again. Turn your left foot out, right foot in. Right hand on your waist. Hit back your shoulder. Now inhaling. Stretch to the sides as much as you can. If you can't stretch more, just bring that hand down. Toss your chest. Raise your head up. Bend. Look at your right palm. Very powerful posture. Do not bend your legs. Both legs should be straight. Bend more sideways. Feel the changes in your body. This practice is very good to perfect your posture. Now, slowly come up with a stretch. Release your hand. Relax for a while. Next, let us practice Vrikshasana, balancing one. Join your legs. Now, take your heel to the ground. Join your lower palms also. Stand straight. Stretch up. Hit back your knee. Vrikshasana. It's very good for concentration. Try to maintain the posture for a while. Slowly release your hands. Exhaling. Turn your palm. Release your hands. Release your leg. Relax. Systematic stretching should be there. Do not hurt your body. Now, let's practice with the other leg. Heel to the ground. Stretch your hands sideways. Stretch up. Join your lower palm. You can suck in your abdominal muscles. Bicep stretching the ears. Try to maintain the posture. Vrikshasana or tree posture. This is to learn the firmness, stability. Slowly stretch your hands sideways. Turn your palm. Release. Relax for a while. Last standing posture I am going to instruct is Prasarita Padahastasana. For that, separate your legs. Again, foot should be parallel and then toes should be pointing inside. Stretch your hands shoulder level. Turn your palm. Still up. Inhale here. Exhale. Push your buttocks back. Bend down. Come to halfway. Stay there. Once again, inhale here. Exhaling. Just wherever you reach, just put your palm there. Take your body front. Do Kriya for a while. Try to put your elbow down. Exhaling. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go down. Now, finally, try to catch your ankle. Try to put the crown of your head on the floor without bending your knees. Do not close your eyes. Stay there. Preferably, crown of your head should come in between your foot. Very powerful posture. See now, try to put your palms down. Bring your legs nearer. Come halfway. Again, come up. Stretch. Exhale. Turn your palm. Release. Last practice for today is change Surya Namaskara. Those who can't do Surya Namaskara standing, they can practice sitting. It has one more practice is twisting also. Now, sit comfortably. Join your legs, join your knees, join your palms. Om Shri Savitra Surya Narayana Namaha. Ekam. द्वे त्रीणि चत्वारि पंच toes pointing towards you, shut up the leg, join your legs, सप्त अष्ट twist now, नव दश एकादश द्वादश. Here is the chair Surya Namaskara practice. Relaxing Makarasana. Lie down on your abdomen. Prone relaxing practice.
Okay, hi everyone. So I'm transitioning to the next person basically from here. So let's have a practice. My name is Elnaz, and thanks for having us here today and sharing your practice with us. So if you're ready, let's start lying down on your back, on your mat, and we'll start my sequence. Just want to check something here. Great. So lie down on your back, and for the moment, just bend your knees, open your feet wider than your hips, let your knees to rest on each other. And close your eyes. Start to deepen your breathing. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms on the floor. And relax your jaws. Relax your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. So we want to do a breathing technique, which I call it wave breathing. It's a simple breathing technique. Now that we are here, we're going to do this together. And we're going to move on to the asanas, the other practices. So we're starting the inhale. The breathing starts from the pelvic floor. Inhale from your pelvic floor. And imagine that there's your air, the breathing is like a wave coming all the way to your navel. And with your exhale, this wave is coming back to your pelvic floor. So doing this together. Inhale from the pelvic floor. Wave is coming to your navel. And all the way with the exhale is coming back to your pelvic floor. Now doing this again together. So inhale from the pelvic floor. This time it comes all the way to your solar plexus. So it's getting longer. And with the exhale, it's coming all the way back to your pelvic floor. And doing this again, inhale from the pelvic floor, coming to the solar plexus. And exhale, coming back all the way to your pelvic floor. And now this time, inhale, and imagine this wave is getting bigger. It's coming all the way to your neck. And exhale, just release, let it go, and you're back to the pelvic floor. When you're ready, let's do this together again. Inhale from the pelvic floor. The wave is coming all the way to your neck. Feeling the whole torso. And exhale, you're letting it go. And you're going back to the pelvic floor. And while you're there, just continue with your normal breathing for 2 to 3 more cycle. Breathe in and breathe out. If you want to set an intention for your day or for the coming week or for the coming months, any intention that you desire, this is a great time. You just remind it to yourself. Now gently open your eyes. Let's hug your knees into your chest. Start to sway yourself a little bit to the sides. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the stretch on your lower back. And then from here, let's extend your left leg on the floor. Keep your right knee hugged into your chest. Flex both ankles. So you're pushing the heels out. And look at your left toes and see if they're directing toward the ceiling. So now together. Inhale on the floor. Exhale, you're lifting your chest toward your right knee. This is called Apanasana, and it's a wind relieving pose. It's a great pose for digestion. Inhale here and exhale, lift your chest toward your knee. Let's switch your legs. Hug your left knee into your chest and flex your ankles. Inhale here, exhale, lift your chest toward your knee. And lower your head again. Let's do this again. Inhale on the floor, exhale, lift your chest toward your knee. And lower yourself. Now hug both knees into your chest. Inhale here, and this time again, with your exhale, lifting your chest toward your knee and you're squeezing the body. And again, lower yourself. We're going to do this again. Inhale on the floor, exhale, lifting your chest toward your knee. And lower yourself. Now let's stack your ankles on top of each other and put your hand on your kneecaps and start to move your knees in a circular movement. A little bit of more stretch for your lower back. Breathe in and breathe out. Then do the reverse. I just wanted to ask you all if you can also mute yourself because I hear noises from someone. It should be from someone. So then from here, now let's stack your knees next to each other and lower both knees all the way to your right side. Extend your left arm to the left side of the room. So this is a reclining twist. And let the stretch happen on the left side of your body. And stay here. Keep your left shoulder also on the floor. We want both sides of the shoulders to be on the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Stay here for one more deep breath. Now, coming back to the center, and again, keep your knees stacked next to each other, lower them all the way to the left side, extend your right arm to the right. It's okay if both knees are not getting to the floor, but we want to keep the shoulders on the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Stay here for 2 more deep breaths. And then coming back to the center. Before we move from here, let's Place your hands at the back of your thighs. Let's do a couple of rocking movements to the front and back. At your own pace, maybe 2 to 3 times. Just get a little bit of massage on your spine. And eventually coming to the seated position. From here, let's transition to your tabletop. So all four. This is called tabletop. And slowly walk your hands a little bit forward and come all the way down to your belly and your mat. Now for a moment, extend your arms to the sides, to your right and left side. Now bend your right elbow and place your fingertips on the floor. You're rolling yourself to the left side, letting the left side of the left shoulder stretch. While you guys are there, just getting the stretch, coming back eventually to the center. I'm just gonna check something on Zoom, if it's okay. And I just need to mute someone, just 1 second. And then gently coming back to the center and going to the other side. So we're exactly doing the same thing, but to the other side. I just wanted to mention we have Siva, so can you actually mute yourself? Okay. And from there, coming back to the center, you're still on your belly, and interlace your fingers behind your tailbone. Gently start to roll the shoulders toward the ceiling, start to straighten your arms and lift your chest. So you're keeping your feet, the top of the feet are still on the floor. It's a variation of Shalabhasana. And then lower yourself again down. We're gonna do this again. So straighten your arms, roll shoulders back, and only lift your chest. Keep your neck the extension of your spine. Breathe in and breathe out. And then coming back. Now place your hands next to your rib cage. Your palms are next to the rib cage. Your elbows are hugging your torso. We're going to do Cobra or Bhujangasana. Press your hands. Inhale. Only lift the upper chest. Cobra pose. Let's lower yourself. We're doing this 2 more times. Inhale. Press your hands. Cobra. Bhujangasana. And exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Coming up. And exhale all the way down. And then from here, now let's bring your forearms in front of your body. So you're putting your forearms on the floor. Your shoulders should be above your elbows. So your elbows shouldn't be wider. The distance should be shoulder stand. Now your forearms are parallel to each other and you're pressing the forearms to the floor. At the same time, I want you to engage your leg muscles, maybe even your kneecap muscles get off the floor. And open your chest, your collarbones wide to the front, to your front. Sphinx pose. And keep your neck the extension of your spine. Pull the lower belly in. So to protect the lower back, you're just pulling the belly in. Breathe in and breathe out. Staying for 1 more deep breath here. And then gently move your left forearm diagonally inside. And you're going to gently bend your right knee. With your right hand, you're going to grab the right foot and bring your right foot closer to your right buttocks. Important thing here is that to keep your left arm strong, because it's easy for me to lean on my left arm. Just keep it strong as much as you can. Breathe in and breathe out. Getting a stretch for your right quadricep. And gently release, coming back. So let's move your right forearm diagonally inside, and you're gonna Bend your left knee and grab the left foot. Getting a stretch on the other side. Breathe in and breathe out. And then gently release, coming back. Now put your forehead one more time on the floor. Extend your arms alongside of your hips. We want to do first a preparation for Dhanurasana. It's a back bend, and then we will do the Dhanurasana. So bend your knees. You're not going to grab the feet. This is the active, pose of the same pose. So when you're ready, you're going to lift your chest, lift your arms, and see if you can lift your knees a little bit. So again, even if it's 1 inch, that's enough. You don't need to come up too much. Breathe in and breathe out. Now lower yourself. We're going to do this again. When you're ready, inhale, lift your chest, lift your arms, and lift your legs. Lifting your knees. Breathe in and breathe out. Now lower yourself. So now we want to go to the pose. So when you're ready, gently bring your feet closer. If you can, you might grab the ankles or the top of the feet. It's better if you can flex your ankles, pushing the heels out to protect your knees. Something important here, you don't need to come up too much if it's putting pressure on your lower back. And it's important to keep your knees parallel to each other. If your knees are getting wide apart, don't go further up. So when you're ready, gently you're gonna press your feet or your ankles to your hands and lifting your chest and lifting your knees. Again, as much as you feel comfortable. It shouldn't be too much. Breathe in and breathe out. And gently lower yourself down. Now, bring your forearms in front of, to the front like a pillow and put it underneath your head. You can start to lower your shins to the right side and all the way to the left. Just moving the hips a little bit. Be aware of your breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. And then when you're ready, straighten your legs, place your hands next to your rib cage. Press to your hands and your knees coming to your tabletop. And when you're ready from your tabletop, you want to go to the child pose, Balasana. So either like this, or either you open your knees a little bit wider than your knees if you feel you need more space. Otherwise, you can keep them underneath your hips. And then gently, you're going to sit back to your child pose. So you're sitting back, maybe putting your forehead on the floor. And stay here. So this is the opposite of what we just did, because Dhanurasana, the previous pose, was back bend, and now we're kind of folding forward to do the opposite. And yoga is the balance of poses. So we try to keep the balance through various poses. Breathe in and breathe out. So keeping your forehead still on the floor, and just let the stretch happen on your lower back. Release the hips toward the floor, release the groin area, just let the stretch happen. Breathe in and breathe out. Now gently, let's get a stretch. Place your fingertips on the floor and walk your hands to the right side. Let's get a stretch on the left side of your body. You're still in child pose, yes. And then start to bring your hands to the middle and go all the way to the left and get a stretch on the right side of your body. Breathe in and breathe out. And coming back to the center. And from here, let's come back to your tabletop and gently transition to your seated position and get back to your, basically lying back on your back on the floor. we have few minutes to kind of finish. So I'll try to use the time as best as possible. Actually, we might have 1 minute. Okay, so gently coming back on your back. And let's do the thread the needle, maybe the last pose. So place your right ankle on your left knee and lift your left thigh, interlace your fingers behind the back of your left thigh. Flex both ankles and just let's get a stretch on your lower back, psoas muscles, and partially the hips. Breathe in and breathe out. Gently, let's switch to the other side. So putting your left ankle on top of the right knee and flex both ankles. Breathe in and breathe out. And then from here, you can bring the soles of the feet together, keeping your knees bent and just lying down. This is called Baddha Konasana, supine Baddha Konasana. So I think my time is finished, so we'll pass it to the next person.
Thank you, Elnaz. So far we have had a really nice session, and we're going to do some deep relaxation. So let's everybody lie down on your backs, and we're going to go on a journey. So try not to disturb anyone or disturb yourself, and we'll lie down in a supine pose just like you are, where Elna's left you off, and keep your heels together, and then the feet should just flex outward. Keep the heels connected. That's important to complete the circle of the energy. So keep the energy level circulating. Keep your hands by the side and gently close your eyes. Take your glasses off and put one hand on your chest and one hand on your tummy. And realize that the body is breathing on its own accord and the heart is beating on its own accord. And keep focused on your breath. Dive deep inside as the breath goes in. Follow it inside as much as you can. And then follow it outward as much as you can. And completely relax. Let the body go. Let the body just do its thing through its own intelligence. And as we breathe in, breathe out, the bodies eventually come back to homeostasis. And you'll realize at the palm that the heart is going down, it's coming to the normal. And the breath rate is coming to the normal as your tummy rises and falls, rises and falls. And drop all the doership. Let there be no action on your part anymore. And we are going to do Shavasana, Yoga Nidra, Mritasana. And you're basically imitating the dead body that just does not move. But internally, we are absolutely alert and we are taking note of everything that is going on outwardly, inwardly. And realize that the body is relaxing, it's coming back to homeostasis. And just observe your breath. Observe your breath. And make no movements from your side. Take note of any discomfort, take note of it. Take note of any tingling sensation, just acknowledge it and do nothing about it. And feel the body from the farthest toe of the feet all the way to the crown of your head. And you'll realize that the breathing has really slowed down. It's almost the body is not breathing anymore, or it is shallow breathing, which you don't really realize, but the body is doing its job. And visualize the farthest star out there in your mind's space. Visualize the farthest star that you can imagine, maybe the pole star. And all the Saptarishis are revolving around that pole star. And slowly, slowly, slowly come down towards the earth. Let the body do its thing. And we are out there in the outer space. Please mute yourself. This is really important for this exercise. And as the breathing comes to almost very subtle, almost the body is not breathing. And from there, you come to the Himalayas. You see the beautiful mountains, the beautiful Mount Everest. And then there is Mansarovar, the highest lake in the world. And you see the beautiful reflection of the Mount Everest in it. It's early morning. You see a bird in the sky. You're sitting by the lake. You see the bird in the sky, which is carrying a twig. He's building his nest somewhere. And then that twig falls from his beak into the beautiful lake that is reflecting the Mount Everest. And suddenly it disturbs the reflection. It disturbs, it creates ripples on the surface of the water. And those waves start coming towards you. And then we are disturbed. We are upset. And we jump into the water to calm the waves down. We take the matters in our hands. The doership is arising. We try to calm every wave down one by one. And in the process, we generate more ripples. Not only that, the clear water is now all muddled up. And we are even more disturbed by that. And there is a Buddha walking around, and he sees all this and says, "My dear child, please come out of the lake and just sit by the lake and just observe, do nothing." And we come out of the lake, we sit down, and all that muddled water starts settling down. And the ripples come one by one on their accord. And the farthest star is reflected again into that lake. And that infinite universe, the infinite Atman, the infinite consciousness in which everything resides, is back to its original state. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And slowly come back to your body consciousness. Realize that your body is very subtly breathing, almost not breathing like a dead body. And this takes away all the fatigue. And gently raise your left hand. If you're right-handed, left your left hand. If you're left-handed, raise your right hand. And turn towards your left hand. If you're whichever hand is rising, turn that right. And then put your hand by the chest, the other hand. Keep your eyes closed and gently come up to the seated position. Make sure your head is the last thing that comes up. And come to a seated pose. We are going to do some breathing exercises now that the body has come to homeostasis. You can sit in any comfortable position and sit cross-legged preferably. If you can sit in Ardha Padmasana or Padmasana, that can help you sit for a longer period of time, at least for 10 minutes. I would say sit comfortably, close your eyes. And we're going to do some pranayam. I know we have overshot on the time, so I'll try to be more conscious about the time today. I know we all have the plans for the Father's Day. So join your hands and we'll say a quick Omkar here. Take a deep breath. And we'll practice some Kapalabhati to begin the warm-up of the pranayam, the breathing technique. So take your first finger and your middle finger. Please mute yourself, guys. And then your ring finger and pinky is up there. And then generate this Vishnu Mudra like this. Okay. And what this Vishnu Mudra does, it allows you to do alternate nostril breathing like this. Okay. So with your thumb, you can close the right nostril. With your ring finger, you can close your left nostril. Okay. So we'll start with the left side. So close your right and then do shallow breathing with your tummy. So you're going to use your exhalation, inhalation using your tummy like this, as though you're blowing your nose. So there we go. And exhale fully. Now we'll do the opposite. Come to the Vishnu Mudra again. And we'll close the left this time. And we're going to do this nostril breathing with single nostril breathing, forceful exhalation, and inhalation is automatically happening because you're using your tummy muscles. So let's start again. We'll do another 30 to 40 strokes. Exhale fully. Breathe in half the lungs and begin. So what we just did, we basically balanced the two nostrils. We opened them up so that in the next exercise, we can then breathe in and breathe out with the equal force, okay? So what you're gonna do now is keep your hands in the chin mudra like this on your knees. And then we're gonna do both the nostril breathing, another 40 strokes like that, okay? So let's start. Exhale fully, empty your lungs completely out. Breathe in half the lungs. And then we start. And exhale fully and do not breathe in. Hold the lungs empty for some time. Starve the lungs a little bit. It's okay to starve the lungs. They're working 24/7. So it's good to give them a break sometimes. So hold your breath out and then take a deep breath. And breathe out by constricting your epiglottis so you can hear your breathing out process. So you should be able to hear yourself breathing out like this. It's called the ocean breath. So if you keep your mouth open, you should be able to hear yourself breathing out like this. But this time you're keeping the mouth closed so you can hear yourself internally. Okay, with that, I think we should go into Anulom Vilom breathing. So technically, we are really not doing pranayama. We're just doing breathing exercises here. So as long as you're not holding the breath in or holding the breath out, it is not considered pranayama. So we are doing breathing exercises. So we're going to do Nadi Shodhan. So again, we are going to do alternate nostril breathing. So get back into Vishnu Mudra like this. So this time, what we're going to do is close your left nostril and breathe in through your right. Once you're full, close your right nostril and breathe out through the left. Once you're completely empty, close your left nostril. Breathe in through your left nostril. Close the left and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the left. All right. Right in. Left out. Left in. Right out. Right in. Left out. So we just did Nadi Shodhan or alternate nostril breathing. And what this is doing, it's actually calming down your reactionary behavior of the mind. And that reactionary behavior of the mind is happening through your subconscious. Your subconscious is almost 9 times bigger than your conscious mind, and we have no control over there. So to gain access, we do this alternate nostril breathing, and that will calm your mind down a little bit. So we have 1 more minute, and we're going to learn the last technique, which is going to teach you how to be happy without being dependent on anybody out there or anything out there. I don't have to buy an expensive phone to be happy. So let's do Brahmari Pranayam that releases dopamine in your head, which is a happiness hormone. Okay. So I'll leave you with that today. So let's close your ears and then put your middle finger on your eyebrows and your ring finger on your eyelids and your index finger on your forehead. And then we're going to take a deep breath. And we're going to imitate the sound of a bee, like a honeybee that collects the honey. And the honey here is the dopamine inside. So we're going to collect all that honey inside our head and be happy for no reason. So let's just take a deep breath. So we just did this 1 round of Brahmari Pranayam or Brahmari breathing exercise, I would say. Practice this 5 times, 10 times, 15 times. When you cross 15, the dopamine starts releasing in your brain. An entire day you'll be happy for no reason. Okay, with that, we're going to close out our session today. So we'll do the prayer and a couple of omkars. So join your palms at the heart center. Close your eyes. And we're going to say omkar. So take a deep breath. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaidikena yopakarottam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram Shankha Chakra Siddharinam Sahasrar Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari and rub your palms and gently cup your eyes and put back all that energy that we generated back into the body. And thank you so much. I'll hand it over to the next session.
Thank you, all of the teachers, for leading such a wonderful yoga session today. Now let's conclude today's program with closing remarks by Jayantji. Jayantji is originally from Gujarat, India. He moved to the US in 1988. Working in the state of Arizona, he holds MCOM and MBA degree. He is a Sangha Swamsevak from childhood and the first Karyavaha of HSS in Arizona. Under Jayantji's guidance, we started our first IDY celebration from the year 2015. It is our pleasure to have him offer concluding remarks on today's event. After his remarks, we will officially end the program with our Shanti Mantra. We'll keep this session open for some time to give an opportunity for participants and organizers to have an informal conversation. If anyone wants to express gratitude, give comments, or greet anyone, then they can stay until the end. Let's welcome Jayantji.
Dhanyavad, Shreyaji. Namaskar, everybody. Am I audible? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Dhanyavad. So in the beginning, we heard that yoga is about joining, it's about connecting, it's about, being one with each other. Those who are on the cameras, raise your hand and tell me that you want to meet a lot of people now after all these couple years of the prison that we are in this corona. If you feel that you want to meet a lot of people in this next few. Wonderful. So those who are not on a camera, you saw that most of us raise our hand, right? So would you like to meet us today, right here, right now? Would it be possible for just for a few minutes, if you are in not in outside situation, or if it is technically convenient for you to just turn on your cameras and let us see you, let us feel you, let us get your bliss and blessings and all the vibrations. As a matter of fact, I don't have any kind of a speech or any kind of a conversation here. All we want to do is just connect. This is what the whole purpose is, this yoga is, right? For last 6 years, if I'm not mistaken, we have been doing this yoga day all over the world. It is going on everywhere, and everywhere in the world everybody is getting connected. And if you're really thinking about it, what is this going on, and if you're wondering about it even after 6 years, just to clarify this thing, that it is just nothing but an extension, a little tiny bit an extension of something that started some 10, 15, 20,000 years ago. Before the Vedic time, the yoga is existing. When Yoga Vasishta Muni was walking with Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan and explaining the yoga in the Yoga Vasishta Darshan, or when Ashtavakra was explaining to Janakaraja, and end of that Yoga Shakti Ashtavakra Gita, Janakaraja is realizing that Mera Mujhko Namaskar, I am bowing down to myself, realizing that myself, that is where the yoga is beginning. We are just simply trying to bring it back as much as possible in whatever our limited understanding in the forum that we're in. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we have been talking about, is actually considered relatively a modern version, where we talk about the Bhakti Yoga and Shakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga and Raj Yoga, Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. There is even a simplified, comprehensive version when Lord Krishna is explaining all those yogas to that. And further going, as initially in this introduction, it was mentioned Bauddha yoga. That is where Sangam Saranam Gacchami, we learned that, right? Let's all get together. And that is why I wanted you to turn on the cameras. I've seen a lot of people have turned on the camera, and now we are in the Sangha environment. We're all together. And this is where we can all surrender ourselves to this yoga shakti and say, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, right? Whatever that Buddhatva, the enlightenedness that is surrounding us, around us. And while continuing doing this thing, if you are confused in the Kali Yuga, you don't get a gurus. It is very difficult to find the gurus nowadays. So let us all unmute for 1 second if possible. This is also part of a consider yoga. I'm going to be a yoga asana teacher for 1 second. Raise your right hand and go to a mute button and touch it for 1 second and don't double mute it. And there you go. Let's see, a lot of unmute. And now I want to hear a very, very loud Om for Anita ji, Inchara ji, Shreya ji, Amit ji, Alanza ji, and Vasudha ji. So wonderful experience that we just went through because of their lot of efforts for 2 hours. And I'm very conscious about the fact that we have spent a lot of more time than we dedicated today. I know it is a Father's Day, but for in our Hindu parampara, in our Bharatiya Sanskruti parampara, Father's Day and Mother's Day is every day. We do not need a special day. When is your mom is calling you, say, no, mom, don't call me today, it's not Mother's Day, right? We are going to run for whatever the help our father and mother. So let's hear with your unmute in a one sound for those Abhyasu Shikshak, yoga asana teachers, give a very big Om from your bottom of your heart as a grateful thankfulness to them. Let it reach to their heart. They should be able to hear it. Their heart should be vibrating. They work so hard to get us to this blissful environment. Dhanyavad Anita ji, Dhanyavad Inchara ji, Shreya ji, Amit ji, Vasudha ji, and if I apologize if I'm mispronouncing any names here. Alenza ji, I believe, right? So thank you.
Elnaz.
Elnaz ji. Dhanyavad. Thank you. And sorry that once you come in this culture, the G is a part of our.
We missed Susil ji. He is a very good organization.
Very good, Ji. Dhanyavad. So again, I don't want to go in a more detail of all those explaining. The one little thing that I want to close with my conversation here with it is when none of this works, then you just simply put your hand on your heart and ask that, did I make any difference today? Bringing that ego level to self-realization, because there is a very simple scientific proof is this, that if you are awake and you know you are awake, if you are sleeping and you know you are sleeping, if you are dreaming, you are in a dream formation and you know you're dreaming, that means these are the three formations that you have identified. That means there is a fourth situation, because unless you're standing in the corner of the fourth corner of the room, you cannot see the other three corners. And that fourth corner is when you're all the dreams, when you all Sushupta Avastha dies down, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, early in the morning, when you're in a deep self-realization mode, when you're closest to yourself, that's when you feel that bliss. That's when your stock market, your name, I am that, I'm father, I am mother, I am brother, I'm sister, I'm husband and wife, everything drops down. There is nothing there in the existence for those 2-3 hours, and you feel the most closest to yourself. And that is because you have lost all your identity, you have lost all your ego, you have no identity at that moment. And that is the very proof. And this yoga teachers were trying to get us to that experience today with help of all the different physical, mental, and pranic activities. And we really bow down to them today for taking us to that great experience. The last thing I want to say this to you is, when there is a problem, when there is a situation, and even if that blissful environment doesn't come, your ego comes in your way. Your lokeshna means your popularity, your identity. I am so and so, I'm this expert, and I'm this manager, and I'm this father, and I'm this controlling person. When that identity, your lokeshna, your popularity, wanting to move forward comes in your way. When with Teshna, you're wanting to, as Anita ji said, aparigraha in the beginning, when you're wanting to grab more and more, it comes from the insecurity and the fear that comes in your way. When Putreshna, this is my son, my daughter, and when all those things comes in your way, at that time you have to find an anchor. It doesn't matter what anchor you find it, what format you find it in. It could be some temple activities that you might be connected with. It could be a selfless services that you've been all part of Seva International. Look at this wonderful work with the millions of dollars collecting and reaching out to all those COVID people who are struggling. And there is a lot of work. I'm appealing to all of you here. You know, when we started, we were 60 plus logins here. Now we're close to 40 logins. And I really, from bottom of my mind, I want to request you that Seva International is one of those activity that is going on worldwide where we are reaching out very selflessly. Your name will not be published anywhere. When particularly when you come to the Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangha, which is a factory, which is a plant where we create the Karyakarta who creates an activity like a Seva International activity. There you do not have any name taken. There is no daitva, there is no position, there is no title. All it is a tattva, there is a Bhagavad. You go in front of it, you pranam, and you continue doing your sadhana, yoga sadhana. As the Bhagavad Gita says, right, that all at the end of the day, it's your ego. If you don't feel the vastavik parivartan, ultimate, the real changes in you, something is wrong. End of the day, sit with yourself for 3 minutes, do all pratikramas. If you hurt somebody, if you have been upset, if you have been stressful, and just ask yourself that how can you do better tomorrow? And go back to that anchor. Every week, Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangha people get together without any kind of a ego, without any kind of a title, and they get together and do this activity. Please continue to be part of all those that is going on. I have had so many things that in my mind to talk about. Prasadji has messaged me. I have to be very mindful about the time. It is already like 12 minutes after 10, if I'm not mistaken here. And I don't want to take more time, except I just want to do pranam to all of you for joining such an auspicious day. Tomorrow is actually 21st June. You will be all working. Take your thoughts, excuse me, take your vibration, take your positivity that you are doing here as a battery charger. All we are getting together here once a year is not just to remind your yoga practices. We're doing it every day as it is a sadhana. And tomorrow is a day where you can bring the whole world together and spread this word to everybody. I just want to thank everybody again. Prasadji, dhanyavad for organizing this very wonderful way. And again, all the shikshak, pranam to you, pranam to everybody. And I will end my words over here. Dhanyavad.
A lot of teamwork, a lot of people work. So officially we ended the session, but if someone want to hang over for a few minutes, they can hang over. Otherwise, you can drop off. Yeah.
We'll now end the session with the Shanti mantra.
Yes, please.
Please keep your hands at heart center and please repeat with me. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukhabad bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Amitji, dhanyavad for talking about Himalaya in Arizona on a day like this.
Yeah.